Going to be chairing today's seminar to come and take the place next to us. It's so wonderful to see all of you. It's been a few months since we all got together. I want to thank Urdu Culture London and Anjuman Taraqqi Urdu UK for coming together to organize this very important seminar today. Before we begin, I've been asked to request that we observe a minute of silence for Adil Yusuf Siddiqui. I think many of you knew him. He was a senior person in the city who did a lot of work for the Urdu language, and who was also a founding member rather of Urdu Culture London, but also of Roshni for Harmony. So if I please could request a minute of silence in his memory. We've got a collection pot here today. I know all of you, I can see some very familiar faces. You always come back to the programs, you support us, you hold our hands as we work through the program. So please, if you could donate as much as you can to the collection pot. But also, there is a paper there, Hilal Bhai, for if you could start circulating that to collect any email addresses of any new faces that we see here today. Okay, so my name is Ruj, and I've been given the privilege to moderate today's program. Today, as many of you know, we are commemorating 90 years since the inception of the All India Progressive Writers Association, which was founded with the intention to promote art for the sake of humanity. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers, some of them sitting right next to me, and they'll share their perspectives on the past, present, and the future of progressive writing. But before I invite the speakers, I'd like to add my tuppence worth to today's subject. As we contend with an increasingly volatile and vulnerable world, we must reflect on what it means to be a progressive in 2026. Our core values of globalization, of egalitarianism, and basic human decency are not just under threat, but they're literally being trampled over. But I also feel that we have lost touch with the ability to adapt and reinvent ourselves in the face of an information war that is largely unraveling online. I see this in my day job. I work as a digital communications consultant, and I spend some of my day, sadly, analyzing social media algorithms, and I see how their appetite is becoming increasingly hungry for divisive, provocative, and emotive content, which is in a way a reflection of where our society is today and where the systems that hold up the society are today. Over the past 15 years or so, I have seen a variety of far-right fascist content move from the fringes to the mainstream and now in hyperactive mode. And if I may borrow a term from the Gen Zers, the progressives are not channeling main character energy at the moment. Somewhere along the line, we have forgotten the art of simple, captivating storytelling, and we've also forgotten who is it that we're talking to. So we've forgotten our audiences. The far right, on the other hand, have mastered the technique of fear-mongering with short-form content. By short-form content, I mean reels, TikToks, podcast clips, YouTube shorts, so anything between 10 seconds to a minute or two. The far right have really mastered that. And they've also really thought about who is it that they're talking to. So their target audience groups are pretty nuanced. They're talking to the middle-aged men and women who might be economically suppressed and disenchanted. They're talking to the ultra-rich who might feel that they have too much to lose from if the status quo is reformed. And obviously, the largest group of people that they're talking to are youngsters. And this online conservative space is teeming with blatant misogyny. Some of you might have seen the recent Louis Theroux documentary on Netflix about the manosphere, which isn't a new phenomenon. Noor and I actually did a panel on this last year in September on the manosphere and the womensphere and how that is threatening our society. And in Louis Theroux's documentary, we saw how influencers with millions of young followers are promoting shockingly regressive behavior towards women. I recently came across this report by UN Women UK, which is a charity, and they found that almost 75% of young people who are engaging with the manosphere content are between the ages of 11 to 17. That's the group we're talking about, and they're boys. And they also found that 60% of those boys aren't actively looking for the manosphere content. So the whole theory about the algorithms pushing divisive and regressive content is absolutely true. But what are progressives doing while all of this is happening? I feel that the progressives are still debating what terms they should be using in terms of socialism, in terms of feminism. And when it comes to feminism, not every progressive is sure that that represents their version of human rights. I mean, the mere fact that we have to argue that women's rights are human rights is a tragedy, don't you think? So as we stand on the precipice of potential mass confrontation between our societal infrastructure, and as we contend with an infrastructure that is rigged against us, the only thing we can do is to appeal to each other, to come together, to convene, and to create a social vision that is inclusive and that is co-led by men, women, and all of the other fringe groups as well. Thank you.